this. This is an extremely small detail, but I want to see if anybody picks up on this. And actually, I might have to let it run a little bit more for you guys to actually see. But try to pay as much attention to what both players do, and then see if there was anything you noticed that might have been the start of a pattern or developed a pattern. It's hard to explain. I don't think anybody's going to get this, but we'll see. Not that I don't think anybody can get this. I think that you're not going to necessarily see enough of the match to see it. So, because I've already obviously watched all these matches, so I know what's going to happen, and I picked these for a reason. So, let's see. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so round one. So I'm not going to give too much commentary here because I don't want to give it away. Nice anti-air there, though. Gets counter hit in his focus. Nice empty jump low.
Nice full combo right there from CP. Pressure still going.
All right, Steve H with a couple of low fierces. I'm trying to let the situation happen one more time. It's already happened once. I want it to happen one more time.
That's really the best thing that you can do. Less chance of you getting stuffed, obviously. Less chance of any trades
might not happen this round.
In the wrong way.
Ken actually can stuff that clean though with crouch.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go back to the beginning of the round. Okay.
Complains about this. Okay.
So, anybody see anything interesting? I will give you a hint since it is an extremely small detail, but something happened that completely changed the other person's playstyle. Okay, and you're gonna see it in the rest of the match. So, did anybody see anything that was out of the ordinary? It actually wasn't that out of the ordinary. It's actually a very common thing. So, let's see if anybody... Okay, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Remedius says Scott mashing Stan Tech. Iron Kurt says Ken throwing fireballs. Ewick says CP trying to jump fireballs preemptively. Shinobi X, sorry, says blew up crouch tech. Let's see. Zansum says Ken threw a fireball at the beginning and then went for 4 straight jumps or something like that. Alright, some of you guys are kind of close. Some of you guys, by the way, you might be saying things that actually happened, and you might actually be onto something even better than what I'm about to talk about. I don't know, but something happened at the beginning of this round that just stood out to me, so a lot of the other things I kind of, didn't really pay as much attention to. But okay, let's rewatch, and we'll see who was close here. Some people were actually very close. Let's see here.
Yeah, CP Ken.
Okay. I'm gonna pause it when it first happens, and then we'll see. All right, so Sanford throwing some fireballs. They're both throwing some fireballs. Okay, anti-air. Okay, now here. Okay, so right there, CP jumps over the focus. I'm pretty sure Steve H probably tried to dash cancel out of his focus, but didn't get it because of the cross-up, so he gets counter hit. Not that big of a deal though. So okay, so right here, this is what I want you guys to focus on. So right here, CP is about to get a pressure string. Okay, I want you to pay attention to the pressure string. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see it? Somebody saw it. Who was it? It was Remedius. Says Sagat mashing crouch tech or stand tech. I'm sorry, but you're only half right because he actually wasn't mashing crouch tech. Because the point is, he only does it right there. If you rewatch this is something that's very easy to miss, by the way. A lot of people don't notice stuff like this. It's so important. If you watch this again, here comes the pressure string. Okay, let me see if I can freeze frame it right on the frame. Right here. And there's Sagat about to whiff his throw and then get Kara thrown out of his whiff throw. Okay. Oh, I didn't have the... pilot episode, getting the kinks out. Let's
This is
let's go back to the
fight.
let's go back to the game footage.
Got-
Okay, there it is. Okay, so there's the there's the guy about to whiff his throw, and he's about to get carrot thrown. Okay, so
Can keep out Ken.
something so easy to miss, but the point here that I want you to pay attention to is it's not just that. Okay, it's how that affected the way Steve H plays now. Because Steve H definitely noticed it. Okay, he went to try to tech, and he didn't get it. He tried to tech too soon, and because of Ken's carrot throw range, see, normally against characters that have normal throw range, you have a little more leeway to tech, because if you try to tech too soon, you'll throw them, and then they'll tech your throw. So it's not that big of a deal. But against somebody like this, against Ken that has a carrot throw, that doesn't work. You have to be extremely precise with your techs, which is part of what makes the carrot throw so dangerous. So Steve H fails the tech one time, and like a switch goes off in his head, like, whoa, missed the tech, I got thrown. Bad things are happening to me now. I'm never going to try to tech again. Forget it. I'm going to try a completely different tactic and see if that's better. So now I want you to watch every situation where CP could carrot throw. Watch what Steve H does instead.
Very well, but Ken can get in and blow Sagat up.
Okay, so CP gets a combo here.
Combo.
Oh, what's this? The same carrot throw setup, roughly. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but it was 2 ticks.
Nice full combo right there. From
What's
CP.
this? He's
Pressure
not
still
trying to
going.
stand tech now.
That's fierce.
From CP, pressure still going.
Let's watch it again.
Fierce.
Did I not rewind enough? Maybe we're not watching it again.
Sagat is not cornered, but ooh,
Okay,
that's fierce.
I'm not rewinding enough.
Right there
I
from
really need
CP,
a meaty
pressure
player.
still
Oh,
going.
okay. I see now.
Nice full combo right
Okay,
there
yeah,
from
here it
CP.
is. Okay.
Nice full combo right
Bam.
there from CP, pressure still going.
What happened? No more stand tech. He immediately goes to the low jab, which, by the way, is a really good counter to carrot throws. If somebody is literally just carrot throwing you over and over, that's actually a great counter, because when you carrot throw, because you have to cancel the startup of your move, you're technically adding startup frames to your throw. So if you have a 3-frame jab, like Sagat, you can actually just mash on crouch jab, and they won't be able to carrot throw you because it takes too long. So let's continue to watch the match now and see how many times Steve H gets away with this, because it's more than he should. If CP really was on the ball and he completely was paying attention and noticed that, he would immediately, or should immediately, do the same carrot throw setup and then do a counter hit setup.
Fierce range. That's really the best thing that you can do. Less chance of you getting stuffed, obviously. Less chance of any trades going in the wrong.
And that one switch, by the way, it's worth noting that you could arguably say that because Steve H got out of that pressure situation in the corner by doing the crouch jab, that he was able to turn the whole round around. Because that's what got him back to neutral position and allowed him to not lose any more life on that mix-up. And there it is again, another crouching jab against the... And notice it's like he doesn't even have to try, because CP is doing the exact same carrot throw setup every time. Like, he's doing low short, low jab, carrot throw. Maybe he's not even doing carrot throw. Maybe he's doing, like, delay, low forward, something. Doesn't matter, because whatever he's doing, he's not doing a counter hit setup, which is what he needs to be doing at this point, because that's twice in a row Steve H immediately just did low jab. So I'm going to rewind it so that we can see that one more time. I actually didn't count beforehand how many times Steve H gets away with this, but I'm guessing it's a lot.
Steve gets out.
There's another one. Notice also it's counter hit.
Steve's all over the place at this moment.
There's another one.
I mean, he's getting the damage in. Like,
He is.
It seems like Ken is all over Sagat, but
Yeah, Steve is
And
keeping
there
it
he doesn't get a
close,
chance
keeping it
because
even.
he
Taking damage
he
back
does
from
a
the
DP. And there finally, I'm going to rewind this again. Finally, I think CP is starting to catch on to, like, hey, something's going on. Like, he might not notice, like, exactly what's going wrong, but sometimes players will not think about it and not be 100% aware, but subconsciously something goes off in their head, like, my strategy is not working, and they just instinctively try to do something new. So I mean, hopefully he realized it. But I think that a lot of players, and not that it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you know, if you just naturally are that instinctive of a player that he can, you know, that he just has the intuition that, you know, something's not going right, and, you know, he's not even thinking about it, he just automatically switches up his game. That's awesome. That's a great property to have as a fighting game player. But for the rest of us, got to think about it a little bit. So
Ken is all over Sagat, but
so here we see he's going to do a different string. And it works. He does crouching short, crouching jab, staggered crouching jab with a very little delay.
I mean, he's getting the damage in.
And then he gets the throw. And I think if I can freeze frame it,
Yeah, Steve is keeping it close.
I missed the frame, but it's pretty hard to freeze frame on this. But it looks like he actually threw Steve H out of his crouching jab, which would make sense because now he's actually switching up the timing. So Steve H, it's not so free anymore. Even though it's still good to hit the crouching jab, he still has to now react to the tick throw setup with the crouching jab. So good on CP's part.
Taking damage back with a poke for a poke.
And he gets the round. So that one throw probably made the difference there. If he would have lost that pressure, Steve H might have been able to turn around again. So, pretty even right now. They're both keeping each other away. Obviously, this mid-range game is not exactly what we're interested in right now since we're learning. But, still interesting to watch. Okay, so here we go. CP gets a throw. Gets a knockdown. Gets him with the overhead. Gets him with the cross-up. This right here was just a really nice series. And there again, you see Steve H still mashing the low jab. Finally, when he is able to block the mix-up, CP does low short standing strong, and Steve H does a right there. He does a low jab, and he does a standing strong, and he doesn't do it fast enough, so it trades with the low jab. So that's a trade Steve H will still gladly take. He was on the defensive. Any trade that doesn't knock him down, that just pushes them both away, is in his favor. Slightly bad in terms of damage, but he does not care. He just wants to get the hell out of that situation. He already got knocked down like 4 times in a row right there. He doesn't care. He just wants to get away from the situation. So he's still perfectly fine with that. So CP's still not really doing what he needs to do to counter this low jab defensive maneuver here.
Steve is very close to stun here. I would just go for some trades.
And there again, the low jab just it's like a free get off me at this point. Like CP is just not doing anything to stop it.
Because like you panic when you get hit by that because like it hurts.
Yeah.
So you might press some buttons. If you do, you will.
I mean, CP is still ahead in this round because of that really great series he had on the right side, where he got a few consecutive knockdowns. So he's still looking pretty good to take this one. Avoids the carry DP. That was pretty huge. That definitely would have been real bad. So good on his part to take his time, and he gets the round and the game. So CP definitely mixing it up a little bit more. So the crouching jab was not quite as free, but he still needs to stop it. He's still losing a lot of offense to the jab. And there we go. That was a nice setup. He did low jab and then target chain into fireball. Steve H blocked it, so perhaps CP did it a little bit too soon, and he didn't give Steve H the opportunity to hit the jab, or maybe Steve H just didn't do the jab there. Hard to say. But still, better to do it too soon than too late and lose your pressure. And nice anti-air, really even right now. CP with some pressure, hits him out of his backdash. And there, that's finally, that's what I've been wanting to see this whole time. He does a carry throw setup, but instead of doing the carry throw, he just does Dragon Punch FADC. It didn't work, but that's what he needed to be doing since round 1. As soon as he saw that low jab, that's what he needs to be doing. Obviously, he couldn't do it right away because you don't want to just like throw it out without meter. He wants to FADC it, but pretty much every time he had 2 bars, he probably should have been doing that. Because at worst, if it was blocked, he could have FADC'd it to safety. And then if it worked and it hit, he just doesn't have to spend a meter. He gets free knockdown. And he forces Steve H to either stop doing the low jab or just lose because he's just going to get a bunch of free knockdowns and dragon punches and damage and, you know, really good stuff. So,
Alrighty then. Why
and
not?
gets a throw.
Who needs meter when you have a dragon punch?
And again, with the second stagger jab, gets a throw. And there again, he goes for the low jab, sitting strong, and Steve H still just mashing jab. That's got to be probably the 20th crouching jab in that situation, at least. Again, I have not been counting, but I mean that is really ridiculous. Like this was like the perfect match. So like this is why I'm showing this one last, because this really, I think, should show you how much of an impact little details like this can make. If you are able to pick up on a little detail like that in round 1, just think about what CP could have been doing this whole time. I mean, this is already what? This is game 2. This is already the 5th round that they're about to start. He could have been exploiting this so hard already. Like, he just has not. He's just been letting Steve H just do what he wants. Just crouching jab, no big deal, whatever. And he's been losing a ton of pressure off of it, and you know, he's giving Steve H way more chances than he needs to be. So, I mean, I think that this match really shows you, you know, what a little detail, how far a little detail can go if you can pick up on it early enough and just pick up on it. Because it's also not necessarily true that if CP, I want to pause this and really emphasize this point by looking at you. If CP would have picked up on this in the first round and been countering these low jabs, there's no guarantee that Steve H would have realized and gone to the next level. There's a very good chance that Steve H would have just straight up lost to the strategy. He might have just started eating the random counter hits and random dragon punches and just lost and you know, not really put 2 and 2 together, like, why am I eating all these random hits? He might not notice. He might just be saying, man, I'm just getting counter hit a lot, and not realize that the rest of the sentence is, I'm getting counter hit a lot because I'm hitting low jab, because he carry through me at the beginning of the round. I'm trying to stop the carry throws, and I'm afraid of them. You know what I mean? There's a good chance that he would not have put all that together and stopped it. And there's also a lot to be said of CP, if he could have picked up on this, saving it for a rainy day. You know, like, it's only a low jab. Eat the low jab a couple times. And then when you have Ultra, put him in that same situation, and then Dragon Punch FADC Ultra. You know, do something crazy that, you know, really pays off from that read, from that, you know, from that noticing that detail. So, you know, there's just a lot of intricacies that this could have influenced in either direction, you know? So it's details like this that I think a lot of players just do not notice, that really can completely change the way a match goes, you know? So,
and sometimes it works really
CP just going nuts right now. You can just tell Steve H is definitely on his back foot here.
Like a backdash in the corner like that. That's just actually
Nice cross up.
sometimes it's good.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, but
And Steve H loses. And I just want to rewind for a second. I think this is pretty funny here. When this was happening, I think I rewound a little bit too far, but that's okay.
Yeah, it often does.
CP gets the throw here. Also right there, let me back up a little bit. You can see that throw. CP gets a jump in. Man, I gotta get a different media player for next time. This is not letting me rewind to the point that I want. It skips around a lot. But this jump in right here, okay, he gets a throw. And then this is blocked. And you can see right here, Steve H backdashes. Same kind of throw situation. Finally, Steve H doing something that's not a crouching jab, but backdash in the corner? Really, Steve H? Backdash in the corner with Sagat? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. He had 2 bars. Could have did Dragon Punch FADC. Chose to backdash in the corner. All right.
Like a
So,
backdash in the corner like that. That's just actually a bad idea.
and then this right here, right there, when I was first watching this and CP did that hurricane kick over the corpse, I was like, oh, that's all right. I guess he's giving up the pressure because he's got such a big life lead, and he just wants to you know, get out of the corner, give himself, you know, as much chance as he can to, you know, just clutch this one out. But if you notice right here, after he switches sides, look at what happens to Steve H. He wakes up with a fierce. he definitely did not mean to do that fierce. There's no way that he meant to do wake up standing fierce. More likely, he was trying to do wake up fierce dragon punch, and because of the side switch, he just didn't get the input. He just messed up. So I thought that was pretty funny as well. I don't know that that was necessarily CP's complete intent, but it was definitely a nice bonus to that situation.
Yeah, sometimes it's good,
So,
but it's
and CP takes it.
bad. Like by the book, it's not good. Taking some risks, not paying off, and see.
So, that is that. And wow, I perfectly ran until 10:55. So that's awesome. I actually have like 2 more matches that really, in all honesty, weren't really that on topic for this episode, but I didn't want to have nothing to show for the rest of the time. I didn't know if it was going to take 30 minutes or, I don't know, whatever. So pretty sweet that 3 matches perfectly took an hour. So I got a few minutes here still. I don't know if... is Marlon Pie in here? He's not. Bad Marlon Pie. Maybe he's in here and he's just not logged in. That's maybe more likely. But so basically, I want to take the last few minutes and ask you guys your opinions. What did you think of the show? What did you think? Is this something that you would be interested in seeing once a week, if possible? Because this was also a test for me. Because this was something I wanted to do, but I was not even sure if it would be possible. If you guys are familiar with Day 9, it should be obvious by now. Huge shout out to Day 9. He is a big inspiration. He is an amazing commentator and just, you know, this thing, what I'm doing now, he's a great guy at this thing. And I really tried to model this after what he does because I don't even play StarCraft, and I've tuned into his show and just been completely enthralled in the show. It's just so interesting to me. Basically, I'm not even going to try to hide it. Like, I'm just trying to copy what he does, you know, in a Street Fighter format. And I wasn't even sure if that was going to be possible, so this was a big experiment for me. I didn't know if I would, first of all, be able to find matches that would, you know, have something coherent to talk about for a whole episode, which in the future it might be tough. You know, I might have to do, you know, I have some ideas for episodes that aren't necessarily like this. I might do some episodes on just specific characters. There might be an episode just all about Guy or something like that, you know, just showing, you know, how, you know, things that you have to be aware of in certain matchups. And, you know, I might try to have some guest hosts on every now and then, you know, maybe the same thing. If it's, you know, maybe I'll do like a Zangief special with Flash or, you know, something like that. So, you know, stuff like that. But, Marlon Pie, I knew it was logged in, or was watching, but not logged in. But yeah, so you guys seem to be pretty positive in the stream chat, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty glad about that. And yeah, so we'll try to do this again next week. And also, I want to mention that this is being recorded right now. Again, I mentioned I'm using some different software right now to stream this. So I don't really know how good the recording is going to wind up. I didn't have time to test a recording for this. I mean, I tested it, but I didn't actually get a chance to mess with the recording. So I'm going to mess with it over the weekend, and I will upload it. So if you tuned in late, or if you won't be able to make it, you know, every Thursday or whatever, these will all be uploaded to the option select YouTube, which, let me throw up, hope I switched to the right scene. Nah, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. That's the right one. Okay, so here's all the information that you need. The YouTube you can see on the bottom there is optionselect.com spelled out. And yeah, I also want to mention I did not post about this stream on Facebook and Twitter, so I wasn't really expecting a ton of people to show up. Honestly, I was kind of not sure how this was going to go, so I didn't really want to advertise it like too much, and you know, have like 500 or 600 people, or I don't know, 1,000 people in here, and then like get blown up because like the show just like didn't work at all. So I didn't really advertise it at all, but next week I definitely will. And you know, hopefully you guys will help me do that. You know, you'll retweet and all that, you know, new age stuff. And yeah, hopefully next week will be even better. Definitely had very few kinks tonight. I'm pretty happy about that too. And yeah, I think overall success. So again, if you tuned in late at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that part of what's going to be going on Thursdays now, since this show is only going to be about an hour long, is that this will now be a part of a programming block for fighting games on Thursdays. So this week and maybe next week and the week after, Salty Conflicts is supposed to be after my show, but is temporarily not happening. So so that will resume in a few weeks. But since we're skipping that this week, right now, if you want more stuff to watch, you can head over to Live Oratory. Marlon Pie is in stream chat right now. And what is up, Fish Sticks? Were you watching the whole show? I hope not. Kind of embarrassing. No, but so head over to Live Oratory if you want more stuff to watch. Marlon Pie, Quotes, Nina, all awesome people. If you've never seen that stream, you are missing out. If you've never seen that stream also, you can see in their archives the best episode ever. I was special guest. Making Sushi with Marlon Pie, best episode of Live Oratory of all time. You can ask anybody. True fact. But yeah, if you want to watch more fighting game stuff, tune into them. They're going to be streaming till about 2 a.m. Eastern. And if you're still not done and you still want more and you like Marvel, or if you just like cool people, you can tune into Hanzo Gonzo. Will start streaming immediately when Live Oratory ends. You'll be directed there. And he'll be streaming some Marvel. He basically plays online. And yes, thank you, Spider Carnage. There is the link to Live Oratory. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. So go to Live Oratory now. I don't know why you're still watching this. You should be going there right now. They're going to start streaming. You don't want to miss it. It's that good. Just don't miss it. So, and I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you want to watch it again, it'll be on YouTube this weekend. Take it easy. Later, guys.